So I'm not sure if you've been up to date with the recent drama that's been happening, but there's been a huge lashback from Chinese player base regarding Genshin's latest 4.4 livestream. Now, I normally don't cover these types of topics, but to me, this specific drama that's been happening right now is probably one of the most interesting events that I've witnessed after all these years with Genshin. So let me tell you what's the current situation, why is there such a huge drama between Genshin and CN player base, and I'll also give you my own thoughts later in the video. Okay, so first of all, let's start with the big one. I actually missed this remark from Hoyo during the 4.4 livestream, but basically they said that in addition to getting a free 4-star selector from Liyue region and 10 intertwined fates, to celebrate the past year, we're also getting 3 intertwined fates. Yes, you heard it right. It's 3 summons for all the time we've been playing and supporting the company. Now, this is just straight up out of touch thing to do, and it almost makes me wonder if it was better not to mention this reward at all. Because this moment right here was the last spark that was needed for the Chinese player base to reach critical mass. This was the Franz Ferdinand that started World War I. And so, what damage are we talking about? Well, first of all, we got this platform called Douyin, which is the mainland Chinese TikTok. And Genshin here lost hundreds of thousands of followers after the 4.4 livestream. And from the reports I'm seeing, they're still losing followers even till now. Then there's review bombing happening on Bilibili, which is a popular Chinese livestream platform, where I also usually watch the new version livestreams along with Twitch. And on top of that, the players are going as far as unfollowing brands like KFC and Pizza Hut, who have collabed with Genshin in the past. I mean, you gotta admit, this is just too funny, when even Pizza Hut gets dragged into this. Honestly, this is just straight up chaos that I have never seen on such magnitude. I think this even tops the time when Google Classroom got review bombed by Genshin players due to lack of rewards. And to wrap this all up, an article was posted by this website Sportskita, where they mentioned that in response to all this drama, the developers have reportedly issued an apology and promised to work on improving the communication. They have also announced that they will readjust the rewards and provide additional compensation. Now, more rewards, that's already a win in my books, and I'll talk about this soon, but I really find it interesting that the company has promised to work on their communication, which is a bit of a weird thing to hear, especially considering this is not the first time this has happened. And look, I'm not the first one to bring this story to light. I actually first noticed I went to Lou's video talking about this, who got inspired by Tectone to do this. The word of mouth has spread like wildfire, and then content creators took notice of this. And because I was out during the weekend, I could not believe how much stuff has happened in those few days. And the thing is, it's not just this livestream that was responsible for the breaking point that caused CN player base to do these things. Not that long ago, Honkai Star Rail gave away a free 5-star Dr. Ratio, who is considered to be one of the best DPS and meta characters in the game. And no, he's not like Aloy. You can pull for his additional Eidolons from his own featured banner, and he performs super well as a DPS. Whereas, I don't think you can even obtain Aloy anymore. And those of us who have her, she masquerades as a 5-star unit, but she has no constellations, and let's be honest, she's not really a popular unit, considering the fact that she was just dropped into players' mailboxes with some simple flavor text. And now she's just running around in this world we've been exploring for years, and has really nothing to do with the lore or even other characters. In fact, because of this free Dr. Ratio event, I asked you guys to let me know how you feel about this, and more than 50% of the votes coming from this poll have answered that no, this does not feel fair compared to Genshin. And I understand, this data shows that not everyone cares about this situation, but even 50% is a lot in my opinion. And I get it, Honkai Star Rail and Genshin have 2 separate departments working on them. But it's still the same company, so the values and ideas are going to be about the same. And I'm speaking as someone who has worked in large corporations in the past. And with Zenless Zone Zero on the horizon, it's only going to get worse for Genshin if this stuff continues to keep happening. But yeah, that's the situation that we're in so far. Regarding my own opinion, well, here's what I think. I think that if Genshin developers decide to issue some extra rewards, they need to think very carefully what their next step should be, because I have never seen such an uproar coming from Chinese player base. Now, I hope this doesn't end up with employees receiving death threats or any other kind of situation that could put them in harm's way, because that is beyond messed up. And I know it's only select few lunatics who do this kind of stuff, so I'd like to believe that everyone will act within reason and not go for the extremes. I mean, you can just boycott the game and or voice your opinion, like it has been happening right now. Although I will admit that unfollowing Pizza Hut is really funny to me. Still, going back to the rewards issue, yeah, the 3 intertwined fates incident will not be forgotten for a long time. I'm sure it will be memed to death and remembered by everyone who saw this drama, so I think one of the ways to address this issue would be by giving away an actually good reward. I am talking about a free 5-star character. It could be from the standard banner, and yeah, the original characters might not excite everyone, but there's also Dia and Tignari who have been added to it, and Tignari especially is a fun character who is good at C0 but gains some pretty nice power-ups with each constellation. Heck, it could be just a 5-star selector ticket from the standard banner. I really don't think this would cause such a huge revenue loss for Hoyo if they decided to do this. People aren't just playing this game for the characters, but the characters are an important motivator to keep this game fresh. But honestly, I don't know what Hoyo is supposed to do to make things right, and I do not envy the position they are in. And maybe someone will point out that this is slacktivism, you know, the equivalent of those online petitions, or those times when people on Facebook change their profile pictures to protest and post a wall of text to make a statement. However, I think this is a pretty important situation, and even if it doesn't affect Genshin's revenue at the end of the day, there's still the morale of employees and public image that needs to be maintained. So yeah, when it comes to celebrating the new year or the anniversary, they really need to think of better ideas than to issue 3 intertwined fates along with some other rewards we got like years before. Now, in terms of my own stance, I'll be honest, I wasn't sure I wanted to make this video because I'm not gonna pretend like I can relate to every Genshin player since I have to spend so much money on this game just so I can have every character and almost every weapon, since I need to put out a video each time to review them and provide guides. My situation, along with other content creators and whales who spend a ton of Genshin, is completely different compared to the rest of the player base. And I won't pretend that I immediately thought this was bullcrap when I saw the rewards. I was honestly unfazed because I live a pretty remote life, and because of how much I'm forced to spend just to put out guides, I sometimes might not understand how pitiful these rewards look to other people. Obviously, I completely missed out on those 3 intertwined fates being mentioned. I literally did not include this in my condensed livestream overview video that I put out a few days ago, but even as someone who cannot relate that well as a whale, even I was laughing at this joke of a reward. Still, as a long-time content creator for Genshin, I will continue putting out videos about this game. But I also want to be here and talk about topics like these when they come up, even if I am a bit late to the party. I mean, I legit was surprised to see on my previous videos so many people talking about Wuthering Waves, and how they hope Genshin gets put in their place by this game. I swear to you, I could not put 2 and 2 together that this might have had to do with the whole rewards fiasco. But yeah, to wrap it all up, there's been a huge lashback from the Chinese player base after the 4.4 livestream where Genshin devs promised to reward us with 3 intertwined fates. After that, chaos ensued, and a bunch of social media platforms have been unfollowed by the CN people, ranging from TikTok to Bilibili, and then of course we have this funny part where even Pizza Hut and KFC cannot escape the wrath of dissatisfaction. So, let's hope some good rewards are issued because of this. And while there's this popular opinion that Western players' opinion does not matter to MiHoYo, I think it's always important to provide feedback no matter where you're from, especially considering that I haven't even talked that much about the upcoming Quick Equip feature, which tries to pretend it's a loadout for artifacts by even having the name in the menu. I voiced my opinion about this on Twitter, and I saw a few content creators talk about this already, and in my case, I will most likely review this when the feature drops with the 4.4 version, just so I can actually test it out myself. Anyway, I hope you found this video entertaining. I know I did. The drama is just too good to be ignored. And if you want to support me, just click the like button on the video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.